we have here in the chamber today Ukrainian Canadian world veteran from the Second World War who fought the Ukrainian independence against the Russians and continues to support the troops today, even at his age of 98. His name is Yaroslav Hunka. And I was going to say he's in the gallery, but I think you beat me to that. But I'm very proud to say that he is from North Bay and from my riding of Nipissing-Temiskaming. He's a Ukrainian hero, a Canadian hero, and we thank him for all his service. Thank you.
So here's senior parliamentary reporter JP Tasker to break down what went wrong, the damage that has followed. So JP, we saw the Conservatives say, hey, listen, it doesn't take more than a simple internet search to figure out this man's history. So what do you know about how precisely it came to be that he was in the House of Commons chambers?
Yeah, House Speaker Anthony Rota is taking full responsibility for this invite. He says he did invite Yaroslav Hunka personally to be on hand for those festivities on Friday when Volodymyr Zelensky, the Ukrainian president, was delivering his address to Parliament. This is someone who was known to the Speaker before these events. He's someone who has been in the riding. He lives in the Speaker's constituency. He lives in North Bay. He's been a feature at Ukraine's solidarity events for the last number of months. He's been profiled in local media. Of course, they never mentioned that he was a member of the 1st Galician Division, an outfit that was tied to the SS and Nazi Germany. That has not been something that has been part of the profiles of this man until now. But of course, Anthony Rota giving him big applause, celebrating him on Friday. And this was not just an invitation. Let's be clear about that, Adrian. It's not just like he was in the gallery up above looking down on the events that were unfolding. He was actually singled out by the Speaker, and he was called a hero, a Canadian hero, by Anthony Rota, and the Speaker prompted a standing ovation for him. So he really got a hero's welcome in Canada's Parliament, and now we know more really about this man and his past and his ties to Nazi Germany.
It's with a heavy heart that I rise to inform members of my resignation as Speaker of the House of Commons. It has been my greatest honor as a parliamentarian to have been elected by you, my peers, to serve as the Speaker of the House of Commons for the 43rd and 44th Parliament. I have acted as your humble servant of this House, carrying out the important responsibilities of this position to the very best of my abilities. This House is above any of us. Therefore, I must step down as your Speaker. I reiterate my profound regret for my error in recognizing an individual in the House during the joint address to Parliament of President Zelensky. That public recognition has caused pain to individuals and communities, including the Jewish community in Canada and around the world, in addition to survivors of Nazi atrocities in Poland, among other nations. I accept full responsibility for my actions. My resignation is effective at the end of the sitting day tomorrow, Wednesday, September 27th.
Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau blasted the invitation of Nazi-linked veteran Yaroslav Hunka to Canada's Parliament Friday, where he was met with a standing ovation Here's what he told reporters yesterday.
Obviously, it's extremely upsetting that this happened. The speaker has acknowledged his mistake and has apologized. But this is something that is deeply embarrassing to the Parliament of Canada and, by extension, to all Canadians. I think particularly of Jewish MPs and all members of the Jewish community across the country who are commemorating Yom Kippur today.
Trudeau seemed to blame the mishap on Russian propaganda. Let's take a look.
I think it's going to be really important that all of us push back against Russian propaganda, Russian disinformation, and continue our steadfast and unequivocal support for Ukraine, as we did last week with announcing further measures to stand with Ukraine in Russia's illegal war against it.
Sure, Michael, what does Russia have to do with
Brie,
this?
I was going to ask you that same question. I am baffled by that response. The Russians didn't force the Canadians to invite this guy and then give him a standing ovation. I mean, that was bizarre.
It was bizarre, but it is not out of turn. Exactly. It is completely consistent with what has been going on among liberals, where every faux pas, every misstep seems so easily attributed to somehow Putin.